Hello, learners. We're going to be reading about succession from our ecosystems and their interaction unit. Here we go. Ecosystems are dynamic. They change over time. Over long periods of time, changes in climate can impact the types of organisms that can live in a given area. Some patterns of ecosystem change occur over a time scale that people can monitor. Many of these changes are predictable. For example, population size can rise and fall as populations interact. The presence of more predators leads to fewer prey, but fewer prey leads to fewer predators. So population changes have a pattern. Succession is another pattern of ecosystem change that is well understood. Succession is a series of gradual changes that occur in an ecosystem. If these changes occur in that area that have never had life, the changes are called primary succession. In this case, the starting point is bare rock with no soil. Primary succession can occur when glaciers melt and reveal rock rubble, or when volcanoes erupt and cover the area in volcanic lava or molten rock. The first species to live in an area are called pioneer species. Lichens and mosses are commonly the first multicellular organisms to live on bare rock. As a pioneer species form life processes, they break down rock and begin to help produce soil. As soil appears and gets deeper, the populations can live in the area shift. Deeper soil can support larger plants, which in turn support animals. Eventually, large trees grow in an ecosystem. The final stage of succession result in an ecosystem that are often called climax communities. Secondary succession is the series of changes that occur in an area that has previously supported life. In this case, there is already soil in which living things may grow. This type of change occurs after fires have destroyed a forest. It can also occur after agriculture has wiped out populations from land that is farmed and then abandoned. The series of changes in the populations that live in these areas is predictable. Early on, only a few plant species are abundant. As the soil conditions change, more species of plants appear. Over time, larger plants and trees grow and support more populations of other kinds of organisms. Succession is a healthy kind of ecosystem change. It is a slow process, so the organisms living there have time to adjust to the changing conditions. Animals can come and go as the resource they need become available or disappear. Some ecosystems even depend on this cycling process. Upland forests with lodgepole pine trees depend on periodic fires for many reasons. Fire can restore soil quality, return sunlight to ground levels, and clear forest debris. Fire is also necessary for lodgepole pine seeds to germinate. The heat opens the pine cones and allows the seeds to be released. Without fire, the pine cones do not open. The recurring pattern of secondary succession is a natural process that is necessary for the lodgepole pine growth cycle in the healthy ecosystem. Because of this, wildlife officials sometimes conduct controlled burns to help these forests achieve their natural growth patterns. Controlled burns are set because current fire suppression techniques do not always allow for natural fires. They are also set to prevent buildup of fuels in the area where they would naturally occur, so that the fires can be managed more easily rather than suppressed entirely or burning out of control. Managing natural wildfires rather than immediately putting them out also can allow natural cycles to occur. So as you look here, caption says, after a forest fire, small plants begin to grow in the improved soil and abundant sunlight. And then here are a couple examples. The top one says, in primary succession, areas of bare rock go through a series of population changes that leads to the establishment of larger plants and eventually trees. This process occurs gradually over hundreds of years. Secondary succession is right here. Areas covered in bare soil that used to support life go through a series of changes that leads to the establishment of large plants and trees. While this process occurs gradually, it happens much more quickly than primary succession. So once again, this article is called Succession, and if you have any questions, please talk to your teacher.